it's annoying to think that if you had all the money in the world, what you would do to change the world, right? Because most people don't have a shit ton of money. And I guess something that I was thinking recently, I know so many people who have a shit ton of money, and it kind of bugs me to see them not doing shit. And I know that's like not a good way to look at things, and that's just kind of my ego talking, and I need to get to their point anyways. That is the obviously the fucking like main goal. Um, but like, don't you want to fucking change the world? Is kind of the question and like the thesis of this video, I guess, is I don't necessarily like the direction that things are going. And I don't know a lot of people that do either. Obviously, I live in the United States. I live in a border state as well. Obviously, the border is fucking out of control. Um, and when you look at politics and stuff, there's might as well be zombies in there who I just can't like the normal person can't wrap their head around the decisions that they're making. I think a lot of it has to do with money for companies like fucking like Raytheon and where there's, defense technologies. They make a lot of money every time we go to war. And then with the border and stuff, I think it's got to do with letting some of these people vote in sanctuary cities. I have no fucking idea. But the point is if and when I have more influence, it's important to actually try to affect the world at a much higher clip than some of the people that I respect a lot and I think have the ability to do so. Like us as humanity is such a fucking special thing. And we have come so far in the West in the last 400 years, further possibly than any civilization ever has. And, the only comparison that we know is obviously Egypt. No idea how they made the pyramids, couldn't make them again today. Like complete fucking unbelievable phenomenon of engineering, and whatever they did to do it, we can't do it. Crazy. However, they had thousands of years, that's as far as we know, to get to that point. And so also they got wiped the fuck out. And so to me, it just seems so naive for us to think that everything is just going to be like this forever. I'm not saying like, I mean, Joe Rogan was saying that we live in like a shooting gallery essentially for meteors in the world. There's so much stuff in space flying around, smashing into things in all over the place. And that does happen all the time in the grand scheme of things of the earth. If it's been around for fucking the planet's been around for billions of years, this happens pretty frequently. Of course, it's like every 14, 15,000 years for us. So it's forever. Like you can't even really conceive it. But I just think like we have come so far in such a short amount of time, and our technology is so advanced that to think that we're still having such petty problems, and to think that, not everybody is on the same page of trying to just move civilization forward so much faster, even faster than we have been to get to this point. Like, this is where I think religion becomes so intriguing, is because certain people, you just can't rationalize their decisions. Like it makes no fucking sense. Like I learned the other day that the US is bombing Yemen for whatever reason. And like they put the United States behind that name, and now millions of people are protesting in Yemen. We have a wide open border. They're talking about possibly sending over insurgents or whatever to fucking retaliate. And that also could be like some crazy false flag that the government decides to end up pulling. It's just nuts. Like, it's just nuts to think that every country isn't trying to get to a point similar to the US in terms of technology and like ease of access. And the fact that we're so far from actually trying to do anything to actually help people. I mean, we're bombing fucking Yemen. Gaza is getting destroyed. Israel's not in a great place either. Obviously, Ukraine got smoked and we funded so much of that. It's just insane. Like, it's insane to think how much better we could be doing as a civilization. I think it's important to have that conversation all the time because it's not like we're in some super comfortable and confident position right now. I mean, it seems like there's wars all the time. It seems like so many of our own governments are out to get us, you know? And then when someone, I think it's the what the fuck? I can't even speak. That dude with the hair, and everyone loves him now just because he's being like rational and making sense and just trying to make things similar, honestly, to how the United States tried to make it originally. That's why we had a fucking revolutionary war from Britain. And it just like, I feel that we've completely lost the lessons that we've learned in the past so many times. I mean, think about even World War II. I mean, this was real evil in the world. We all came together, defeated that. And it seems like those lessons over the past 100 years or 80 years have just been completely lost. I mean, the amount of, we just went to war for 20 years for what in the Middle East, in Afghanistan and whatnot. And now it's looking like we're going to be there again. And there's just no reason for it. We were there 20 years in a fucking 2 weeks. The Taliban took it back over and now they're stronger than ever. So I just think it's important that one, I get more intelligent and I'm able to articulate these points better. Because if you're still watching at this point, like fuck, you know, you're just obviously one of my friends and just chilling. But I just think it's important to obviously have the conversation and really try to move the needle in this one lifetime that we have. We're so advanced. We have so much opportunity. I mean, the opportunity is literally endless. It's almost unfathomable to think how far we can go if we all just started working together. And I know, obviously, you know, people in the internet getting together and people like me saying it doesn't do a whole lot. But I think the more people that think about this and actually confront this and think the same, create some sort of a movement, and people don't have to just, you know, sit around and watch shit happen to us. I don't think that's good to be passive about anything. I think we should be on the front lines of just trying to make society flourish. There shouldn't be bullshit. And it's crazy to think that there's still so many, you know, middle-aged or like in terms of like medieval thinking. Like we're still going to war and crazy stuff. And I get it. Other countries are so far behind us. So the wars are over things that make a lot less sense. But to think that we fund it, you know, is just out of control. Anyways, obviously, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate you big time. Send some more cold emails. That's the lesson of this. Now, fucking, don't you want to be something? Don't you want to fucking change the world?